Some people seem to feel comfortable spending time by themselves. They don't constantly seek company. They don't feel the need to be surrounded by people all the time. And they often enjoy moments of solitude that others might find uncomfortable. Because of this, they're sometimes misunderstood. People assume they're lonely, antisocial, or disconnected from others. But psychology suggests something different. In many cases, choosing to be alone isn't about rejecting people. It's about how certain individuals recharge, think, and experience the world. Today, we're exploring the psychology of people who prefer to be alone and what solitude often reveals about the way their mind works. 1. Solitude gives them space to think. The modern world is full of noise, conversations, notifications, opinions, expectations. For some people, constant stimulation feels energizing. For others, it becomes mentally exhausting. Time alone creates something increasingly rare. Space. Space to think clearly, process experiences, reflect on decisions, and understand their own thoughts without outside influence. As a result, solitude often feels less like isolation and more like mental freedom. 2. They feel comfortable with their own company. Many people use distraction to avoid being alone with their thoughts. Silence can feel uncomfortable, empty, even unsettling. But people who enjoy solitude often develop a different relationship with themselves. They don't constantly need external entertainment or validation to feel okay. They can enjoy a quiet walk, a book, a personal project, or simply their own thoughts, because their sense of comfort doesn't depend entirely on what's happening around them. 3. They often value depth over frequency. People who prefer being alone don't necessarily avoid relationships. What they often avoid is shallow connection. A large social circle may not feel as meaningful to them as a few genuine relationships. They tend to value quality over quantity, meaningful conversations over constant interaction, trust over popularity. As a result, they may spend less time socializing than others, but the connections they do maintain are often deeply important to them. 4. Too much social stimulation drains their energy. Every interaction requires attention, listening, responding, reading emotions, managing impressions. For some individuals, doing this continuously becomes tiring. It's not that they dislike people. It's that social environments demand energy. And eventually, that energy runs low. Being alone gives them a chance to reset, to slow down mentally, and to recover from the constant demands of social interaction. 5. They are less influenced by social pressure. Spending time alone can strengthen independent thinking. When people are constantly surrounded by others, their opinions, decisions, and behavior are often shaped by group influence. Those who regularly spend time alone have more opportunities to form their own perspectives. They become more familiar with their personal values, their preferences, their priorities, and because of that, they may feel less pressure to follow what everyone else is doing. People who prefer to be alone are often misunderstood. Their solitude is mistaken for loneliness. Their quietness is mistaken for distance. Their independence is mistaken for isolation. But choosing solitude isn't necessarily a sign that something is missing. Sometimes, it's a sign that a person has learned how to be comfortable in their own presence. Because being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. And for some people, their most peaceful moments happen when nobody else is around.